Welcome back to Start Gaming. So I think I'm gonna not change my nation right now. I don't think that's super important, even though it's fun. Um, and I would like to and all that good stuff, but I think I'm just gonna wait on that. Now, what I was thinking though is I wanted to talk about the university just a little bit, because there are some players who are pretty young in the game. Um, I'm just gonna click on the library real quick, just so you guys can take a look at that real quick. The library is awesome. You get this, I think, on the fourth age. Um, yeah, I think it's the same age where you pick what nation you want to be. Let's go to research. And this is what it looks like now. It didn't used to look like this way before. It was only um, one library through the ages, but now they have other things too, which is really cool. Sorry, let's go back over here. So just a real quick overview on this. So when you get the library, you start with these chapter one, these two sets of books, which is really cool. So the first thing is pottery. These are things you can do. You get additional resources from trees, gold mines, chance of finding cedar and metal, +2 fruit tree limit, plus 20% resource from fruit trees and gold mines, +2 fruit tree limit, which is awesome. So you're already working your new economy. It's kind of like the basic stuff in the game, but believe me, at the beginning, getting resources is really tricky. So definitely you're going to want to keep an eye on the library. Second thing is roadways. Increases the roadway limit, increases your income that you get from the roads, which is basically how you get income from your city. Last one here is reinforcements. Or sorry, the next one is reinforcements. This is for defense. Gives your defenders more attack, or you can get more of them. Free companies, mercenary health, mercenary attack, mercenary army limit, yada yada. Pretty straightforward. But once again, at the beginning of the game, you have your own little armies that you have, and the mercenaries are kind of like a bonus. And as you upgrade your mercenary camp, you're going to get different kind of mercenaries, some more useful than others, and then it allows you to kind of mix and match the units that you want to use with the ones you already have. Now, the second part right here is exploration, which is really nice. Cost refund to clear forests, because you're going to need to expand your territory. Cost of debris clearing, which is similar, but it's the stuff that you uncover as you're opening up your space. You might get some debris, so that reduces that cost. Plus 5% chance to find an animal clearing debris, which will give you either income or goods, things like that, or food. Chance to find an animal clearing debris, that goes another 10%, which is nice. And then +1 gold mine limit. So chapter 5, super crucial, because that one will, pay itself back basically for the rest of the game. So anything like that that's going to give you a boost, that's not temporary, is always going to be a benefit. Anything that increases 5%, 10%, 20%, whatever it is, are great too, because even as you progress through the game, the percentage stays a percentage. So awesome. What was this one here? Oh, what is that? Hold on. Okay. Um, which one was I just looking at? Oh, sorry. I already clicked that. Okay, so the next one is your towers. So you can increase your tower limit, you can increase your attack and your health of your towers. Really good on defense. Machinery is the catapult. Same thing. It's going to really help you on defense. The longer that thing stays alive, the more it's going to be able to deal damage. And this one does area damage. So you can wipe out a few units in one hit. Catapult attacks 10% faster. So all of these benefit one thing, which is great. And there's 5 different levels there, which is awesome. So that's machinery. Then you have cast iron. This looks different because I have units that are further on, but this would basically be your infantry would be the first one. Chapter 2 would be your archer. Chapter 3 is your raiders. Those are the ones that steal resources better. They're usually pretty quick, and they're on like a little horse or something like that. And then chapter 4 gets your infantry 10% more health, which is really nice. And chapter 5 increases their attack versus infantry. So, which is really nice. At the beginning of the game, you're going to be using your infantry and your archers a ton. Where I am in the game, I still use them, so it's nice to have these benefits. Um, and then as you keep leveling up through the ages, you're going to get stuff that's going to be more powerful. That's going to help you. Crop rotation is going to help you, getting your farm and your harvest to be better. Commerce, your caravans, which is where you're going to collect your income, which is going to be really nice. Ramparts are your walls, because eventually your walls are really going to be such a powerful thing to keep your enemies away. And chivalry is your what do you call it? Your knights, things like that, your supply, and then your ballista and things like that. So those are a little bit more advanced. So you probably get that a little bit later on in the game, and then it just keeps going and going and going. Now, one of the cool things, as I'll show you over here, you can choose to max these out. You don't have to. That's what I really like about the library. If there's something kind of let's see, like negotiations right here, I only completed step 1, and increases your peace treaty, and the other ones that keep increasing peace treaties. If that's not important to you, you don't spend the time and the money on that. You don't have to. Obviously, to get to chapter 5, you have to complete them in order. So you can't skip chapters, but you can skip books. If there's some books that you really don't really want to do, don't do them. Now, when you're going to the next stage here, see how these two blues, you need to do something to get to this blue here. You don't have to complete it. All you have to do is complete one chapter on each one, and it will unlock that next area there. Actually, they unlock, I think, regardless, but I think you want to have at least one completed to be able to keep moving forward. And then there's a bunch of chapters that they added. All right, and then at some point, I think this was like a couple years back, they added it so you could research 2 things at the same time, as you can see here on the left, which is really nice. And you can speed up any of these with crowns or speed up tokens, which came out about 2.5 years ago. They didn't really have speed ups as much as they do now, which is fine, because things do take forever. So it's really nice that there are speed ups, and then they came out with a little archive. Not quite sure, it's just archive. This is where you keep track of all your speed ups and all your manuals to help you build walls. So, quality of life type things like they've added into the game, which is really nice. All right, so now we're going to jump into the university, which I don't think you get until like the Enlightenment Age or something like that. Sorry, I just have some allergies, so probably sound a little funny. Now, this is really cool because they pick leaders throughout, history that were really important for different aspects of culture and society. And let's see. Sun Tzu is one of the newest ones, and he's over here. I don't have the university level that high yet. I think you start with these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You either start with these 8 here or these 10. I don't remember on the first level, but you have a lot of options. So just briefly, we're going to look at the first one that's over here, Hannibal. Strategy and Conquest, 5 of 57. So that means there's 57 different skill levels of things that you can work on. So this is more of a skill tree. So this one you do have to do them in order. On most of them, you have to complete halfway. If it's 5, I think you have to do 3, at least 3. And it will unlock the next group. Once again, you don't have to complete the whole, you don't have to complete mercenary damage to unlock these down here. As long as you do like half, I think it's halfway rounded up, it will unlock the next stage. So the reason I don't have War Academy Tactics Upgrade is because I haven't completed Mysterious Fragments Increase to level 3. So some of these are more important than others. You know, you might not do all of them. It's cool that you can look at, you know, you can look ahead to see which one of these would be nice to have. Some of these are not my priority for sure. Let's look. This is actually a newer one, so I'm not sure if you get Empress from the beginning. I think that's one of the ones in the next chapter. You definitely start with Chief Hiawatha. That one I've been working on for a while. Loot blessing bonus, food skill, research time, wall and bastion, upgrade costs, farm cost. So this is a lot of economy type stuff, which I really enjoy. Anything that I can get like passive income or passive boosts, I love. So I know I put a little bit of time into this for sure. And then I still have work to do there. Now let's go to this one, Wealth and Pilgrimage. Motorcycle Raider damage. At one point I was using the Raiders a good amount. I don't really use them that much anymore, but still nice to do that boost there. And then do the gold skill research cost. Because these are super expensive. Like, look at that, 513,000, 14 hours. And this is one of the cheaper ones. A lot of the other ones will be more expensive than that and will take much, much longer. So reduce gold cost for university skills. So could be one that I might want to work on at some point because that's not that long. How much food do I have? I'd actually even do that now. Oh, no. No, I'm not going to do that now because I got some other things I want to do. Domination gold bonus. So when you actually fight in a war and you win, you get a boost. So if you think about it, you're getting a boost from this, and I can keep boosting it higher because there's more levels. Can you imagine having that plus having the British that gives you an extra, I think it was like 10 or 15% every time you win a battle. So some of these you do want to pay attention with the nation that you have and maximize the benefits on various sides to make it even more productive for you. Supply convoy healing completed. At one point I was using that a lot. The supply card or the healing card works great with any unit that has a lot of hit points. So you primarily want to use that with like tanks, generals, things like that. It really helps to keep them alive. They have 0 defense, so you really have to protect them, but they'll keep your people alive if you manage it right, which is cool. So these that you can see that I've worked for a while. Road to Gold Income, I think I just finished chapter 4 or level 4 recently. Gold Skill Research Time. Ooh, see, that's another one that I kind of want to start working on. Anything that can reduce costs or reduce time on research or upgrades, this is great. You know, it'll save you, even if it saves you, I don't know, an extra half hour or an extra like 5 to 10% of income. It's huge. And like I said, that's an ongoing thing. It's not a one-time thing. So once again, any benefits that help you out for the rest of the game, that are going to give you benefits for the rest of the game, of something that you're going to use very regularly, focus on those. If you like archers, but you're spending all your time improving your tanks and your infantry, maybe not work or spend so much time on your archers, because if you keep changing them and you're not really using the archers, you're not going to benefit from that. So there's some units that you're going to find you love and you're going to constantly use regardless of what nation, regardless of what era. Yeah, work on those. But other than that, you know, be well-rounded. All right, so let's look at Emperor Moctezuma. This is the one for hunting and gathering, basically. So I've worked on this one, hunting, food, and gold yield. Look at that. Look at that bonus percentage. I'm at 100%. That's sorry, 80%. If I do this boost right now and wait 19 hours and 40 minutes, I'll be at 100%. A lot of people don't pay attention to the hunting and things like that because it's very passive and it's little increments here and there. They'd rather battle. If you're not a super heavy battler and you prefer economy, these are the things that are really going to help you. You know, you'll probably be taking out like 40 to 50 animals in one whole day. It can actually get you a pretty good amount of loot, which is, you wouldn't think it, but it really can. Once again, if you pair that with some of the other skills, um, you can actually increase the frequency of the animals. You can increase the amount of animals that pop up. And it's really going to help you. Expansion time is one that I worked on to help reduce the expansion time of when you're clearing forests, because those usually take like 7 days now, which is kind of crazy. This is not that expensive, 19 hours. Boom, I could get that knocked out pretty quick. Vault capacity is one I want to work on down the road. That's where you can store your goods, and nobody can take them, even in the middle of wars. It's not a huge amount, but it's another thing that you can level up. Like, see, that one has 10 levels. So by the time you get to level 10, that's probably a pretty good percentage. Oil well capacity is also a good one if you start maxing out your oil, um, and you want to ramp up there. Uh, those are other things. I'm not going to go over that right now. Empire and Intrigue, Catherine the Great. So I've always liked infantry just because you you can make so many of them. They're relatively inexpensive to train. So I don't know. I just like swarming. I like to be able to have like 40, 50 troops out there and just swarming, and they work well together. Playing as the Japanese, the Romans, um, what is the other one? Oh, and the Germans. They all have very strong infantry. Um, so if you're playing as them, these are really important because you can really buff them up. Playing as anybody else, there's no need to. You know, they're probably one of the weakest units in the game, other than, you can get them a lot of numbers of them. But see, I can get 18 plus 3%, and I think every time you level it up, it adds another 3%. So you can do quite a bit there. Um, so so I've been spending a little bit of time on that. The garrisons are pretty cool. King Sejong does the towers, and then the veteran SMG are the archers. I was doing the archers for a while when I was playing as the Koreans because they were already, very powerful. This makes them even more powerful. So if I do decide to switch to a different nation where the archers is the main unit, I might want to spend some time on this and increase the damage because it really, really, really helps you out. Once again, if you're playing this game and you don't care about your archers, you care more about your planes, your tanks, and things like that, don't spend all your time doing this. Just get to, I think it's like 5 or something on these to get to the next, unlock all this other stuff down here. That's what I love about this game. It's like everybody's going to play the game different. There's no reason to max out every single one of these things. Maybe, but half of the stuff you're not going to use, and it's just going to be so expensive. Sultan, that's a different one. Tower Blessings, Tank Depot. So these ones, the first two, I really could care less about. But if once I can get down here, these are important. Your tank defense, defenders, hit points, upgrade costs, all that stuff. Super important on defense. Those tanks really do a ton for you. So if you can get those leveled up, they're just going to, cause problems. These are some of the other newer ones, so I'm not going to talk about them. But one thing to note, the library, when you do those, all you're spending is goods and time. When you're doing any one of these things here, I'm going to click on this, it's going to take time and it's going to take workers. So this is where it gets tricky because you're going to be learning from uh, leaders in time, but it's going to take workers. So if given a choice of the exact same boost between a library and a university, start with the library. It doesn't take workers, and then you can, work hard on getting your workers upgrading and building other things. Um, so I like that. The university is going to be more specific. It's going to be upgrades of one specific thing, so you can max out something, which is amazing. Versus the library is just going to give you different boosts per topic. It's not as granular, which makes sense. And when you go to university, you're gonna learn to specialize in things. Versus when you go to the library, you're just getting a lot of knowledge, general knowledge. So I just love how realistic those kind of things are. It really gives you a ton of decisions to make. Um, it's just awesome. So those are my quick things there. I'm just gonna zoom in just so you can see them a little bit better. But this is great. The game is fantastic. Take your time. If you're in the first portion of the game, meaning the first 5 ages or eras, please look at the library and just start chipping away at stuff on there because most of that stuff's going to help you for the rest of the game. Once you get to the age with the with the university, that's where you really have to be selective because not only is it crazy expensive, you have to complete a certain amount of levels to unlock the other levels. So be very like, take your time, think about what it is that you really want to do, because not only is it very expensive, but it's also take up your workers. Um, so it's gonna, split up your resources. You're gonna have to decide: do I want to upgrade my defenses? Do I want to upgrade my economy, or do I want to start working on learning new things to help me out? So very smart the way that they set up the game. Yes, it moves pretty slow sometimes, but if you have stuff building for a few days, then take those days and just start smashing other nations and just getting as much income as possible. So once those workers free up again, you'll have enough income to work on the next project. Always think of what the next project is going to be, and then you'll be good. And just keep an eye on your library and your university. So thanks. Like I said, I'm not going to change my nation quite yet. I'm going to look at my other options. I might change a wonder or two to fit my gameplay a little bit better. And I definitely need to make some more space. So that's going to, be expensive and things like that. And then with my oil, I think it makes sense for me to try to upgrade this before the end of the weekend. Because I'd love to have a bazooka. Cannot wait. And everything is on sale right now for the weekend. Uh, what is that? 150. Oh, see, this one's also worth it too. I could get paratroopers, which would be insane. So I got a lot to think about. I love that they do little mini events where they discount things and things like that. The game has become very generous in the last couple of years. So for newcomers, you have a lot more speed ups. You have a lot better things to speed up the game for you, and a lot more events than they used to. Super fun game. But yeah, please post any questions below if you have any questions on anything. I am going to try to be a little more consistent because I'm going to be playing this game every single day. It is 100% worth it. And I just want to keep progressing. So any questions, please leave them below. Thank you.